Hello everybody and welcome to the training course on our ILNAS eShop. I will start with a short introduction on standardization and the purpose of standards, followed by the available standards in Luxembourg before I go deeper on how the eShop works. We will then round this module up by going through the process of buying a standard together through a live demonstration. Let's start with the introduction. What is a standard and what is its purpose? So standards are documents that leverage best practices to provide solutions to problems. They are established by consensus and approved by a standards body. Their objectives are multiple. On the one hand, created by bringing together all interested parties, including manufacturers, users, consumers, regulators, they allow to define a common language between the different actors. This common language can then facilitate trade on a national but also international level, as well as enhance compatibility and interchangeability among products. Finally, standards can also benefit consumers through increased product safety and quality reassurance. So what characterizes a standard? Well, one big part is consensus across the industry, as the viewpoints of all stakeholders are taken into account in the process of elaboration of standards. Finally, it is also important to know that while the different economic actors are strongly encouraged to use standards, standards, unlike regulations, remain voluntary. So what standards would be available in Luxembourg? ILNAS is a national standardization body in Luxembourg, but at the same time, also a member of the European and international standardization bodies. As such, it can make available not only national standards, but also standards developed by these international bodies, which in fact, as you can see on the slide, constitute the majority of our catalog. Finally, you can also see that we sell the norms of the German standardization body, the so-called DIN standards. All in all, you'll find around 189,000 normative documents on our website. So all these available standards can be purchased through our ILNAS eShop, which is a website available in German, English, and French. Then, in addition to our eShop, we currently also have standards reading terminals across the country that allow for free consultation via electronic format with no obligation to buy. Available for consultations are all of our standards, except DIN standards, which remain only available for purchase through our online shop. Please note that for the stations at ILNAS and Security Made in Luxembourg, you'll have to make an appointment beforehand. The prices of the available standards may vary, depending on their length and the standardization body who published them. As such, all national standards developed by ILNAS can always be downloaded for free. For all other standards, we provide free access to document previews, which allow you to browse the first pages of a standard without any obligation to buy. Then, for the full version, prices do remain competitive, and we provide advantageous prices when buying several licenses for the same standard. An overview of the price scale can be found on our website if you follow the link below. Once you bought a standard, it is important to take into consideration that all standards are copyright protected. What does that mean concretely? Well, every standard downloaded from our eShop has a watermark on each page. This watermark displays your name and the purchase date, an invoice number, and the number of multi-user licenses, and thus shows who the rightful licensee of the file is. This means that if you buy one license, you may only print one copy of said standard. Indeed, the number of licenses equals the number of permitted simultaneous users. Our eShop, however, also offers the option of buying standards under a multi-user license. This solution allows you more advantageous terms of price and is more convenient when multiple simultaneous users share the same standard within your organization, and if you want to make the standard available on your internet, for instance. Finding a standard in our eShop is quite easy. When looking for a standard, you'll have two options, either using the simple search function or the advanced function. The simple search function allows you to find a document by search of a standard code or keywords. The advanced search allows you to expand the query using several criteria, including the standards body that published the standard, the technical committee, the ICS code, which I'll explain in a bit, the directive date, which is particularly interesting for standards relating to European directives, as well as the publishing date. So what is an ICS code? ICS stands for International Classification for Standards and is a hierarchical classification of standards by subjects. The classification consists of 3 levels. Level 1, with the 40 general areas of standardization. For instance, 91 would be used to identify the area of construction materials and buildings. Then we have level 2, which divides the first 40 general areas into 392 groups, and the third level, which consists of even more subgroups. In order to get a better understanding of how this classification works, ISO has published a guide on their website where you'll find, for instance, the list of all the 40 general areas as well as all the subgroups related to each general area. However, before buying a standard, you will be asked to create an account. You can indeed sign up as a natural person or in the name of your company. This account will allow you to buy a standard by credit card, but also to track all purchases through a history specific to each user. Which brings us to the last function, the RSS feeds. These RSS feeds are these little icons you'll find next to a standard or next to a technical committee. And they allow you to follow the specific standard or technical committee you're interested in and track their evolution over time. So now let's go through the process of buying a standard together. So this is how the homepage of the eShop looks like. Here to the left, I can look for standard through our simple search function or the advanced search function, and to the right is where you will be able to log in. In my case, I'm already logged into my account, so I can jump right into the action of buying a standard. As an example, let's say I'm looking for a specific standard that was developed by ILNAS, but I don't know the exact name. In this case, what we can do is go to the advanced search and look for the standard through the provider. So, like we said, in this case, that would be ILNAS. And let's say that we happen to also know which technical committee worked on the standard. So let's take OLN SI Laboratories. So these are the 2 informations we have. And then we click on search and see if the eShop finds the standard we're looking for. So indeed, we have one suggestion. If you want to make sure that this is actually the standard you're looking for, I recommend to have a look at the free preview we provide. So here we go. The preview generally shows you the first few pages of the standardization document. So you'll have the title of the standard, the table of content, the forward, and usually the introduction of the standard. In this case, indeed, this is the standard we were looking for. So we can go back to the website. So now if we decide to buy the standard, first thing we'll check is the price we'll have to pay. In this case, since it's a national standard, we won't have to pay anything. And then the second step would be to choose the language. So in this case, I will choose French, and then we just click on the basket and on order. And we're redirected to this site, which will ask for the number of licenses we want to purchase. So here, since I will be the only user of the standard, I choose 1, but you can go up to 50 licenses if you want. And then we can continue to the final step. So the final step in the process will be to fill the watermarking with your name or the name of your company. And then you'll have to read the terms and conditions and take this off. And then we can continue to download. So here we are. Our full standard that we bought from the eShop. One thing I wanted to show you was down here. You see the watermark we were talking about. So it will say license to the name you registered. So in my case, this is ILNAS. Then it mentions how many simultaneous users may use it. In my case, 1.
and then you'll also have the date of download. So this would be it. With this live demonstration, we've come to the end of today's training module on how the ILNAS eShop works. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact us at info@ilnas.eta.lu. Thank you.